So welcome once again. In the previous video we completed this play page. So today we are going to see our dashboard. We are going to see our dashboard page today. So let me come back to index, and then when you click on our dashboard here, you click on the dashboard. As you can see, this is just one page, and then you can switch around different tabs in our dashboard. So this is what we want to see in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. And please make sure to help me, just appreciate my effort for producing such content, for making such content like this. Appreciate my effort by liking, sharing, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. That one really helps a lot. That one makes YouTube algorithm to raise my YouTube channel, grow my YouTube channel, and people like you are the one to support me in such thing. So let's get started. I'm going to open my VS Code, and then in my VS Code we have to create a file called dashboard now. Dashboard.html. So in our dashboard we have to first generate our HTML and then call this one dashboard. So the first thing we have to first link our CSS, because in the previous video we failed to link our CSS and then we can't see the output of our results of our design. So I think it is good for us to link it very early like this, because sometimes we forget. Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to call a main. I'm going to say main and then give it a class of dashboard. A class of dashboard like this. So inside our main we have the section, and then I'm going to give it a first column like this. So inside our section I want to declare an article. So I'm going to take the class of article, article tag, and then give it a class of profile. So this is where our profile is going to take, and then in our profile I want an image, img, and then I'm going to give it the path to our image. So this is the image I'm going to use. It is actually the same image. As I told you in the beginning that you can use whatever image you want. I'm just going to use these 3 images of mine. And then I'm going to set article, give it a class of user. So in this article I'm going to give it a article with a class of name, and then the name is going to be Yason, and then the email is going to be yason@explore.com. Just something simple like that. Alright. So after this article of profile, I want to declare an article here with the class of dashboard, where our media is going to be the media link. I'm going to say media links like this, because it's going to be multiple links. And then after that I'm going to say h2. In the h2 I'm going to say media uploads. That's the first thing. And then there I'm going to generate a li. I want 4 li and then a tag. But the rest, because they are just going to be tabs, I'm not going to put the a tags here like this. So this one is going to be our overview. This one is going to be our upload track. Let me say account profile. Then from account profile we are going to say my musics like this. So this article you just copy and paste it a few more times, and then say 1, Okay. I don't know here. I'm not going to customize everything. I'm just going to give something just simple here. I'm going to say music upload. And it is going to be the same just like the rest. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to give it a class name. The first thing here, this one is going to have a class of tab. The second one is going to be having a class of service. We're going to target all those classes later on in our JavaScript. And then this one is going to be a class of profile music btn. Like this. So this is what we want. Then after this section, remember this is our section with the first column, so we want to target now, want to put a section with the second column. Section, second column like this. Second dash column. So in our second column, we are going to have a section also inside the section with a class of home. So inside this section of the class of home, I want article. I'm going to give it a class name of home content, home content, title. Home content title like this. So the title is going to be account overview like this. Then I'm going to say article. I'm going to say trackers, which are now trackers is our, if I come back to overview, so this is our trackers, these are the ones. So I'm going to give it a article with the class of tracker. Let me give it track just. And then I'm going to give it article with the class of track dash content icon like this. So here if you want to put an icon you can put, but I'm not going to put icon on that. I'm just going to give it a title. So we are targeting the track. We want to give it a title. I'm gonna say content and then title. So here I'm just going to put this one as followers like this. So followers, and then I'm gonna come here. Instead of followers here, I'm going to put this on the number of followers like this. So after putting this, for us to get the rest, we just wanted to copy this and paste it a few more times. I'll come here, 1, 2, 3. So the next one is going to upload song. Uploaded songs. And then the number of uploaded songs, I'm going to say 12. So here I'm going to say total views. And then the total views is going to be 1.2 million. After the total bills, I'm just going to put this one to be amount. Oh, let me just say albums. Albums. And then let me say this guy has 2 albums. From there, I'm going to say amount now, or total earns. Let me just put amount, and then the guy has like $22,000. So perfect, this is what we want. After that, after this one, we want to declare an article here, and then give it a top follower article with a class of home, does content again, does title, which is the same class, but I'm just going to give it top follower. Top followers like this, or following, it will be okay, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to give a class of home content to this home content, and then in the home content I'm going to have 2 articles here with a class of home content hyphen container, contain, not container, contain, just like that. And then I'll just duplicate this one a few more times like this to be 2. If I save this file, come here to our dashboard. Before we do that, okay, let me just come to dashboard here. Oops, dashboard.html like this. So as you can see, we have our dashboard there with that image. Everything is there. So we just wanted to give it some style and make it looks lit. So come back to our style here, style sheet. And then before anything, we have to say dashboard CSS. Dashboard CSS. This is our comment to know that we are in a dashboard. So let me get the class of dashboard. And then in the class of the dashboard, I'm going to give it a display of flex. And then I'm going to give it a width of 100%. I'm going to give it a background color of white. Background color of white. This one. And then I'm going to target the first column. Position it to fixed. I want the position of fixed. Background color of this color code. Then give it a height. I'm gonna give it a height of 100 viewport height. For the second column, I'm going to give it a position of relative. And then left, I'm going to give it a left of 19%. And then I'm going to give it a width. So the width is going to be of 80%, not $sign. Save the file. So let me open my So I have the class of profile here. I have to work with it also. Let me just close these tabs out. Let me just leave the one I'm working with. I'm going to say class of profile. I want to give it a display of flex. Display of flex. After display of flex, align it to the center. Align items to center. I want to give a margin. So the margin, I'm going to give it in every side, margin of 20 pixels. And then I will not forget to put a gap. The gap is going to be between the image and the text. And then the gap is going to be of 10, and then let me just give it a color. The text color is going to be of gray. This is for my profile. And then let me target the profile image. Profile, and then get for me the img. I'm going to give it a width. The width is going to be of 60 pixels. Height is going to be of 60 pixels. 60 pixels. And then border radius. Border radius is going to be of 50%. And then I'm going to say object fit. The object fit is going to be of cover. Right. So let's target our name. In our profile we have a name. So let's target the profile name. You say class of profile, get for me the class of name. Alright. So I want to give the name a font size of 20 pixels and then font weight of bold. Font size of 20 pixels and then font weight of bold, like this. Let me first save the file and then see our changes. So yeah, our file is now getting, our dashboard is getting it, like it is kind of working okay now. We are seeing the difference, the designing is coming. So after the name, we want to get the profile email. Remember we have a profile and then email in our profile. If I come here in our HTML, it's this one, so I have to give it an email like this. So come to our CSS. I want to give the email a font size of 16, which is kind of small. Font size of 16 pixels. 16 pixels like this. Let's see. Oops, I'm seeing it is very big. Let me put the arrow. Yeah, so this is what we want. So it is getting there. Yeah. So let's move to the next. We want to target all the links in our profile. So I'm gonna say class of dashboard. I put it in a class of dashboard. Dashboard, dash media, and then links, if you could remember it correctly. Links. So in our links, we want to give it some margin, and then the margin is going to be, we are going to give the margin to be from every side. And then the margin is going to be at least 20 pixels in every side of the link. It is going to have the margin of 20 pixels. So let's target our dashboard again. Our dashboard links. And then in the dashboard links, we want to target the dashboard header. Class of dashboard. Header. In the class of our dashboard header, we want to give it some font sizes. Font size. The font size I'm going to give here, it is going to be of 20 pixels. And I'm going to give it a font weight of bold and then the color of gray. Font weight of bold. Color. The color is going to be of gray. Let me spell color correctly if I can. Color is going to be of gray. And then I want to give some margin from bottom and then a cursor of pointer. Margin from bottom. Then the margin from bottom, I want it to be 10 pixels. The cursor, we are not going to put it in the header, so we have to just give it a text decoration of underline, like this. So let's now target dashboard. We want to target the dashboard links, media links like this, and then in the media links we have the UL and the LIs. So from there is where we are going to take all the list styles to be none. We don't want all the bullets point, and then we want to give it some padding at least to have some breathing. And then the padding, I'm going to just give it from top and bottom, and then left and right to be 0, because we don't want padding from left and right. And then I'm going to give it some color. The color is going to be gray, and then the cursor will be pointed at the color. I'm going to give it the color of gray, and its cursor is going to be pointer. So if I save the file and then come to our browser once again and check, and perfect, we have everything we want. So it is looking amazing here. Oh guys, actually it is looking nice. I really liked it. So this is how to design a dashboard if you want to design a dashboard in HTML and CSS only. So please smash that like button. So let's proceed. Want to take now the what? Remember we have the A tags in our overview. You see overview has A tag, and yeah, it is A tag in overview. So this one we just wanted to give it a font size, and then the font size I'm going to give it is going to be font size of 16 pixels, which is going to have a color. Let me give the color is going to be white like this. If I save the file and then come here, perfect, we have white color here, very nice and perfect. It is actually looking amazing. I really love it, for sure. I really love it. And then let's target our home now, which is now the one in the right hand side, home. And then I'm going to give it a margin of, so you'll see there is now some spaces here from top, bottom, left and right, all there's some spaces. So this is our home, perfect. So let's play around, and then in our home we have this home, we have the trackers in our home. I have the class of trackers like this in our home. So I just wanted to display the trackers to be flex, okay? And then I want to align everything to be center. I mean align items to be in the center. And then the secondly, I'm going to give it a gap just like that. And then the gap I'm going to give it of 20 pixels. Perfect. So it is okay like that. So inside the trackers we have a class of track. So let's play around with that track now. Remember, we have all those in our HTML. I'm going to give it a width of 205 pixels. Alright. And then I'm going to give it a height of 130. A height of 130, not 2, but 1. I can't type now at 130 pixels. So after giving the 130 pixels, then we want to give it a background color. The background color, we're going to give it a background color of something kind of bluish, which is this color. I'm going to give it a border radius, and then I'm going to display everything to flex. I'm going to say border radius. I'm going to give the border radius to be of 7 pixels just. And then I'm going to display it to flex. Sorry for that, guys. I'm going to give it a display of flex, and then align items. I'm going to align item to the center, justify content to the center. Align item to the center, and then justify content. Justify content to the center. And then we want to give a flex direction of column. Let them be in column. Flex direction is going to be of column. If I save the file and then come back to our browser, perfect, this is what we see. It is actually amazing though. I love it. So it is now getting to be juicy actually. So get the class of home content. Remember we have the class of home content. So in the class of home content, I'm going to display everything to flex, and then align it to the center. Align the items to be in the center, and then give it a flex of gap of 20. I want to give it a gap of 20 pixels like that, which is perfect. So let's play around now with the title. Remember the class of title is home, that's content, home content, that's title. I just type here title and then give it some styling. We want the margin, and then the margin is going to start from top and bottom of 20 pixels, left and right to be 0, because we don't want some margin from left and right. So we have to give it a font size, and then our font size is going to be of 25 pixels. Want to give it a gap. not a gap, actually it is going to be a font, I mean like font weight. So I want the font weight to be bold or big, you know, kind of fat. Okay, that's what I can put. And then from there I just want the content contain, class of content, let me say home, it is home content contain, home content contain, it is like that. That's what, not container but contain, that's what we call it. And then I'm going to give it a width. The width is going to be 50%. All right, and then I'm going to give it a height. The height is going to be 130 pixels. I'm going to give it a background color of bluish, which is this color. And then I want to give it a border radius. I just want the borders to be kind of saved, so the border radius is going to be of 7 pixels, the same like the one above. So when I save it, and then you can see something very nice here, perfect. And this is what we want to achieve actually, and it is pretty much looking the same. Wow. So the only thing here, because our colors here, it is in black, and this one it is in white, and the font size is kind of big, so we have to play around with that. Give it some how do you call it, some colors and some, let's give it some colors actually, and font sizes. Let's see its class name, track content title here. So let's come to our CSS. Let's take the class of track dash content dash title, like this. So the class of track content title, we want to give it a color, and then the color is going to be this color gray. And then I want to give it a font size of 16 pixel, and then just give it boldness and boldness. Font size of 16 pixel, and font weight of bold. So if I save the file and then give it some time, boom, so perfect and amazing. Wow, it is kind of nice, by the way, guys. So we achieved our whatever now, we achieved our dashboard. It's now just a matter of changing this one's color to be white. But anyways, the design is now looking good and perfect. The design is looking perfect, and absolutely I really like the design. So let's come back to our HTML. Okay, here you just target this on the H2 and then change the color. So let's proceed. Currently our home, this one, our home section is done. So let's come to the profile or upload section. Let me see the end of this section, this one. All right, it is kind of down here. So after this one, I want to now come to the profile. So for the profile section, what I want to do is to give it a section with the class of about. It is about us or about a profile, so I'm going to give it a class of about like this. So in the about, I'm going to say upload track, and here we are going to have some bunch of inputs. So let me just target the about and say article with the class of about, not about again, but because we give a class of about here, so I want to give some class which is unique for this one. I'm going to say home content, because here I want some title, so I'm going to say home content title like this. So I'm going to give our content as upload track. We're going to upload our track here. So after this, I want article with the class of upload container, upload hyphen container, like this. So inside our upload container, I'm going to say article with the class of left the site, left upload site, like this, left upload site. So inside the left upload site, we are going to put an input. So it is going to be our form. The form is going to be article. Oops. Inside the form, we are going to say article. Let me say article with the class of, I want to say description or this, like this. And then I'm going to say article, and then give it the class of field hyphen title. Okay, so in this title I'm going to say upload music, like this. So this is our title, and then here I'm going to take an input for the music upload. This is the input, and it is going to have an ID. The ID is going to be upload, and then after uploading, I just want to, first thing I want to hide this one. I want to hide the input, and then I want the label. I want to put a label here, so the label will be acting like the input. So I'm going to say label. Oops, if I can. Let me say label, like this. So this label is going to take the ID of upload. So when we click on it, then it will bring for us the upload. And then I'm going to give the label a class. It is going to have a class name, and then the class name of the label is going to be upload URL. Upload dash URL. Inside the label, let's put an icon, but I'm not going to put icon here. You can put an icon and then make some designing to the icon, but I'm not going to put icon here. Perfect. This is what we want. So after the label, after this one, we just copy this and then paste it down. So this one is not going to be the same, like it's not going to be the same, and this one is just going to be a text area where we can put a description about our music. So I'm going to say music description here. That is the first thing, music description, like this. And then instead of the input and label stuffs, I'm going to take this one out and then put a text area. So I'm going to say text area, like this. And then the text area, I'm going to give it a class of disk input. Let me just take everything from here out. I'm going to say class of disk dash input, which stands for description input. Okay, so after the description input, we want now an input. So I'm going to come here and paste this one once more, and then here I'm going to change the title. The title is going to music title, like this, but I have to put some spacing here, and it is going to be a input only where we can put our music. So I'm going to say input. So in the input, I'm going to give it a class of input, like this. So after giving it a class of input, then I want another article, then give it a genre, music genre, and all those. After this one, I'm going to say article dot, give it a class of field title, and then in the field title, this article with a class of field title. I'm going to say music genre, music genre, like that. So under it, I'm going to put a select. So you are going to select from the inputs. I'm going to say select, and it is going to have a class of input. Class of, I want to give it a class of input, so they are going to have the same designing. Actually, all those classes I'm giving it for just for designing purpose. So from there, I'm going to say options. If you know, select has options. So in the options, I'm going to leave this one just empty, and then I will say select music genre, like this. So I'll just Control C, down, down, down. Then from there, I'm going to start with hip hop. You can start with whatever music you want. I'm just going to say hip hop, Afrobeat, Afrobeats, like this. Then reggae. Yeah. So you can put as many whatever genres you want. I'm just going to stick with these three. And then after putting that, I just wanted to come out of this select. And then I want to put now an input, another select input for music type, where we can select the type of the music we want. So I just wanted to copy everything from here. I want to copy it and then come after this. I'm just going to say article with the class of this, like this. So inside this, I'm going to paste this one, and then music type. I'll just change this one to music type. So you just select the music type also. I'm just going to leave this one as default, like this. But you can change it to the kind of music type you want and all those. You know what I'm saying? That's the point all over there. So after that, I'm going to come out of the form, and then give another article here, put another article, and then give it a class name of right now. Instead of the left, now it is called right upload site. All right. So in our right upload site, what do we want? Want a thumbnail for our upload. So I'm going to just copy from the one of label here. From here, this is actually going to be the same. I'm just going to paste this one here. This is the first thing, and then after that, we want another one, which is for external musics. Now I'm going to paste it again, and then just take this one off the label, and let me say just the label. So the input, we are going to have to input with the class of input. So I'm going to just take this ID out and just give it a class of input, like this. So I just Shift Alt and down key to duplicate it, and then instead of this one, I'm going to say external musics, external links, just like that. Music external links, like this. Perfect. Our input is done. If we save the file and come to our browser, you can see our input is there behind the designing of this. So we have to now play around with our input, make some designing and all those. All right. So for us to see like the design we are going to for us to see the design we are going to work on, first thing is for us to disable or to hide our home, from the from the main page, so that we can see our profile or the inputs we are going to work on. What I mean is, like, as you can see from our layout here, our upload tracks, they are actually behind our overview page. So we want to hide the overview so that we can see the upload track and then make some designing on it. So I want to come to my CSS file. Before I proceed, I want to add a class of home that's hide. So this one we are going to manipulate it in JavaScript so that it can hide for us the home when we click on the tabs. So in this one I'm going to give it a display, and then the display is going to be of none. Oops. Display of none. Oops. Yeah. Class of home height. Let me say display. I don't know, it is not recommending it to me. Let me just try to fix something here. Okay, just let me type it like that, display, and then the display is going to be of none, like this. So that's what we want. And then I have to come to my dashboard. Oops, this is not the component we are working on. This is it. So here I want to give it a display class of, I want to give it a class of home height. In the home height, I want to give it a display of none. I want to give it a display, and then the display is going to be none, like this, so that we cannot see our home. So when I come to my home here, I will come up here in my home where I have the class of home. So if I to check it here, it is here. Here I'm just going to add the class of home that's height. So if I save this one now and come back to our browser, it will load, then it will hide for us our home. We cannot see now our home, but what we are seeing now is the upload track. Okay, so now is where we want to work with our upload track. Come back to our CSS, and then I'm going to say upload track, like this. So in our upload track, we're going to target the class of upload, and then container. Remember, we had the class of upload container there, so I'm going to give it a display of flex, and then I want to give it a gap. The flex gap, I want it to be of 20 pixels. That's the first thing I want to do. And then the second one, I want to target the class of left, and then left upload, like this. And it is site, left upload site, I want to give it a flex of 2, and then the right side is going to have a flex of 1. So let me just copy this and then change this one from left to right and this one to 1, like this. Perfect. So if I save the file, so you can see it is actually here. So let's first target the let's target the field title, class of field hyphen titles, like that, and then give it a font size. I want to give it a font size of 20 pixels. Then I'm going to give it a font weight, and then the font weight is going to be bolder, like this. Margin from top and bottom of 10 pixels, but left and right to be 0. Alright. So I want to target everything with the class of disk. I want to give it a width. Not width, but first is background. I have to give it a background color. And then the background color I want to give it is a white background color. Let me come here and give it a white background color. I want to give it a border radius. It is going to go 5 pixels. Padding 10 pixels in any side, width of 100%. Alright, let me give margin from top. Margin from top of 10 pixels. Okay, it is perfect. Yeah, we are kind of getting the design. Take this input, class of this, input. Border radius of 4 pixels. Then let me give it some border here, and then the border is going to be of 2 pixels. It is going to be solid, and it is going to be having the RGBA, and the color code is going to be 116 102 102 again, and then 0.8929. So this is the color code for RGBA. Okay, it is perfect. And then I just want to outline everything, outline to none. Okay, perfect. Let's take this same thing and then apply it to our input, class of input, or we just target the input, all our input. Let's target the input, class of input. Because we have the class of input, then we give it a width of 100%, padding of 10, height of, I want to give it a height of 10 pixels. Okay, or we don't even want height here because it is not necessary. And then we want to give it a border radius of 4. Okay, but this, and then outline. So the only thing I have to add here is margin. So the margin is going to be from top and bottom of 20 pixels, and then left and right to be 0, like this. So I'm going to take the class of upload URL, upload-URL, like this. I'm going to have a display of block, border. I'm going to take this border just because I want it to be the same. I want the width and height, so I'm just going to take everything from here and then paste them here. Hit tab. So the padding here, it's going to be of 20 pixels because I want the padding here to be very, very big, and then the height I want it to be of 150 pixels. This is the height, and then I want to align everything here to be center. Align the item to be center. So I want to give it a cursor or pointer, and then border radius of 4. Cursor pointer. Then I have border radius for 4 here. I'm just going to paste it here. Perfect. Let's see our end result. So this is it. It is coming here. So let's take the options now. Want to take options? Options which are in select. Want to take the options which are in select, and then we want the option like that. Perfect. So what we want to do in the option, want to give it just some padding, and then the padding I'm going to give it of 30 pixels just to give some stylings to the option. Margin, and then I'm going to give it a margin of 10 pixels. I'm going to give it a cursor pointer cursor pointer, and then I want to give it a font size. Font size is going to be of 16 pixels, like that. Perfect. So as you can see, it is not the same design we want here, because this one is not taking our full space. So we have to look for a way to fix that. What is that issue? So for that, we have to first, let me come to my HTML. Let me see this. So the dashboard, let me see what is there in the dashboard. I have a display flex and it is looking fine. So what might be the problem? So let me come and check my second input. I give it a class of about. Okay, so I have to check why about here. It's not giving me what I want. Oh, actually, I'm gonna pause the video and see we fix it. So hello once again. Actually, I just messed up, like, from our style here, like in our HTML file. Actually, suppose this file from here, from this section to here, this one has to be inside this one here for it to work. That's why you see like here it is not giving us the right display as this one. So for us to solve that from the debugging I did, I just have to put it inside. I just have to put it here inside this one here for it to work. So I paste this one here and then save it. So when I come back to my code, then you'll see it is actually now working as expected. So this is our upload track section. So the next thing is for us now to work on our profile now. So for us to do that, we are going to actually be inside this. We have to first give a comment here, and then we're going to build now our profile. So which is going to be in a new section. So I'm going to say profile section, like this. So this is what we want, and let me just take these spaces out. Under this, what we want to take, we want to get I'm just going to call this section as services, but you can call it whatever you want to, because I don't know what name will I use now. I'm just going to call this one services. So in these services, I want my title, and the title here, I'm just going to reuse that title we used before, which is home content. That's title, like this. So after reusing this one, I'm just going to say my profile here. And I'm going to create another article here and give it a class of profile account. So I want to give it a class of, let me say, profile. I'm gonna say profile account. Profile account, like this. So in our profile account, I have the image, which is going to be our profile. It's going to be our profile image, and it is our image there, which is this. So this is the image I'm using. So after this, I want to display my name. I want to display my name and my email. So I'm going to do this article dot. I'm going to give it a class name of user does name, and then the name is going to be Yasan. And then again, I'm gonna just copy this one and paste it down, and then this one is going to be email, and then our email will be here. Let me just type my email at explore.com, like that. So this is our email. Okay, so after this, we want to create now where we are going to render our inputs. So let me come at the top and see how it is. What we want now, because it is for our profile, so we are going to render all the inputs now, these inputs. So I'm going to come back to my code and then render the input. After this one, let me just put input with the class of upload container, like let me say article with the class of upload container, where we are going to upload our about our details. Upload das container, like this. Oops, this is not JavaScript. I'm sorry, guys. So this is what we want. And then inside this one, I'm going to take the input, the container that contains our left input, because we are going to have left and right. So I'm going to say left upload, like this, side. Perfect. So in our left upload side, I'm going to say form, and inside our form is where our input is going to go. I'm going to say article first, and then the article, I'm going to give it a class of this, and it is going to take the same classes, the same design we have in our upload track CSS. So I'm going to give this one a field of title, like this. So this field of title, I'm going to say it is user profile, like that. All right, user profile, we are getting it now. And then in the user profile, we want two inputs here. I'm going to say input, and then I'm going to give it a class name of input, like that. So I'm just going to duplicate this one a few more times, like 1, 2. So this is what we want, and then I'm going to just copy this code from here to here, and then copy it a few more times down, and then I'm just going to say more settings here. You can say whatever you want to see. I'm just going to say more setting. So after doing that, our left side is done. So we're going to we're going to work on our right side. So as you can see, it is actually the same. It is going to be the same component. Let me highlight this from here and then paste this one a few more times like that. Shift Alt and down key like this. So I'm going to change this one to right. This one is going to be right, and then in the right, this one is what we want, and this one is going to be external links. Okay, for our profile, it is going to be external links like this, and then we're going to add one input here. That is one, and then after that, we want a button and an input. So I'm going to take this fill out, and then this one I'm going to take it out also, and then I'm going to give it a class of button. I'm going to say button, and then the button I'm going to use from that button of Spotify. I just want the same kind of button here, so I'm going to use Spotify, this one, and then I'm going to say update now. Update now. So after saving the file, let me come here, and when I scroll down, you see it is here, but we just wanted to add some styling to it to make it looks perfect. Okay, what stylings do we want? First thing, we have to target our image, our account. Let me first come open our CSS. So let me come down here and say upload profile. Profile, just let me call it profile, something simple. Then CSS. No, not SCS, not SCC, but CSS like that. So from there, I want to target the class of profile. Profile does account. I want to target it and then give it some styling. I want to display it as flex first, and then I want to give it a gap of 20 pixels. Then I want to align it to center like that. Okay, so after that one, I want to get the image now. Class of profile account, then I want the img like this. So the img, I'm going to give it a width. The width is going to be of 150 pixels. I'm going to give it a height, and then I want the height also to be the same like the width, 150 pixels. And then I want to give it a border radius, and then I'm just going to give it a border radius of 50% like this, to be rounded. After giving it a border radius of 50%, then I'm going to give the object fit to be cover, so that it will cover the contain file. So if I save the file, come back here, oops, let me come, yeah. So this is what we see here, and our profile is here getting ready now. So let's work with the username now. I'm gonna come here and give the class of user -name. Just I want to give a font size and font weight. Font size is going to be of 20 pixel, and then font weight of bold, just like that. And if I see, check it out, it is perfect. Yeah, this is the same thing we want. All right, what's next? The last thing is the artist profile. If I come here and then I click on my profile, it is going to give us the artist profile. So this is the last thing we want to work on now. So let's do this and end our video. Let me come to our HTML. So after this section, let me come and see we have this profile section. Then after this section, let me say artist section. So after this artist section is where we want to now play around with our artist profile. So here I'm going to say section, give it the class of profile music, like that. Inside the profile musics, I want to say section also, and then give it the class of artist profile, like that. So after giving artist profile, I want the image. And then the image is going to be that same image we have, which is this one. And then I'm going to give it a class. Then the class name is going to be artist. If I can spell artist, BG thumbnail, like that. This is the background thumbnail. By the way, we want to change we want it to look like that background, so it is going to be our first image, like this. Yeah. So after that, I'm going to say article dot, give it a class of artist, and then I want to give the artist profiles. It is going to be profiles, like this. And then in the profiles, I'm going to give it a img. So the img is going to take this image. So this is the image you want to give it. And then from there, I'm going to take another article here with the class of artist name. Give an article with the class of username and then user email. User dash name, which is this one. I'm going to say Yason. Now I'm going to say it is the music, because we are going to display the music we have. So I have 12 musics. And then followers 124k followers, and I'm going to change this one to be email. This is styles we have already. So after this one, I'm going to have a div with the class of name, but I will put it in an article with the class of artist username, like this. So in the artist username, I'm going to put the article with the class of user hyphen name, like this. So whereby I'm going to put my artist name, which is Yason here. So after that, I'm going to put a button now, and then the button is going to read follow. I'm going to say button, give it a class of following, and then here we'll say follow. This one is for you to follow the artist. And then after that, I'm going to say article, give it a class of logo small. Remember, we have this logo small, and then it is going to be explore, like this. So this is going to take our logo. From there, I'm just going to break out of this section. I'm going to say BR, but I want some good spacing. I'm going to say 3BR, like this. So if you come like here, you can see we have it is like the one of recommendation in all music. So I'm just going to grab recommendation here. I have to come back to all musics, not here, all musics, and then instead of, I'm going to get from hip hop, this recommendation from here to here. This is what we want to get. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So I'm going to save this one, come back to our browser, and then let it load. Then we see our output. Alright. So seems like our output is okay, it is doing okay, but what we want is now just this styling. So let's look at the styling for our result. Let me come here, and then I'm going to start with the artist profile. I'm going to say artist profile. In my artist profile, I'm going to take the class of artist underscore profile, artist underscore profile. Then I'm going to give it a width. The width is going to be of 100%. I'm going to give it a height, and then the height is going to be 200 pixels. I want to give it a position of relative like this, relative. Okay, perfect. I want to take the thumbnail artist. I give it a class of bg and then thumbnail like this, and then in the thumbnail I want to give it a position of absolute, position of absolute like that. So in the positioning of absolute, I'm going to give it from top. I want to say from top let it be 0, and then let's say from the width I'm going to give it a width of 100%, and then its height I'm going to inherit it from the parent to be inherit like that. And then I want to give the object fit to be cover. After giving the object fit to cover, I'm going to give some opacity, and then the opacity is going to be 0.5. So this is what we want. Next step is for our profile, artist profile. Profiles, not profile, artist profile, give it a position, and then I'm going to give it a position of absolute. I want to say from left, let it be of 5%, and then from top, let it be of 50%, and then display, I want to display it to be flex, and then I want to give it a gap, and then the gap is going to be of 20 pixels. Perfect. So let's target its image. Let me say the class of artist profiles, and then I want the img. So I want to give the image to be 150 pixels, height even will be 150 pixels also, and then we are going to give it an object fit of cover like that. Perfect. So after that, we want to give the artist username a color. Artist profiles, and then in the profiles get the class of user name like that. Oh, we call it artist name, not username. We say artist name. So the class of artist name, I'm going to give it a color, and then the color is going to be of gray like this. So let's target the button that says following. Remember, we have this button there says following, and then I'm just going to give it a padding, and then the padding I'm going to give it of 10 in every side. I want to give it a background color, then the background color I'm going to give it this color code. I want to give it a color of gray, border of none, position of absolute border to none. Position of absolute from bottom of 0, and then font, let's start it from the right side. The right side I'm going to give it of 10 pixels, and then I'm going to give it a font size of 18 pixels, font size of 18 pixels, and then font weight of bold, like that. So let me save the file and then come to our browser and let's see the changes. So as you can see, this is our changes and our application is now taking place. It's taking effect actually. So the only thing left it is for us to bring, let me come here and see. So this one is in center. So let me come here and see our artist name. Artist profile, artist. If I come here, what did I say? Let me first check. I say artist name. Okay, this one is artist username. Artist username is here. So let me come to my CSS. Let me search for my artist username. Do I have anything like artist username? Artist profile. And then let me put my artist username here. Class of artist does username. So I'm going to give it a text align to the center. I want to give it a position of absolute, position of absolute. I want to give it from top. From top I want it to be 45%, not 15%, 45%. And then from left I want it to be at 50%. And I want the font size to be of 30 pixels. Then I want the color to be at, which is white. Yeah. Then font weight of bold, font hyphen weight of bold. If I save this file and then come back to our browser, yeah, perfect, it is here. So it is actually looking nice now. So let's just cut some of the music out. In here I'm going to take from this one, I'm going to take this one out and then take this one out. Perfect, it is working nice now. It is actually amazing, and this is the design we want to achieve. So let's make it like clickable. When I click on this, it will open for me all the tabs according to the button I clicked. So to do this kind of trick, we want to first disable our everything. If I come here, I have a class of about service and the class of about service, and then the class of profile music. So I'm going to disable all these. I'm going to take them out, like give them a display of height of none. So I'm going to call about first, give it a display. Sorry for that. Display of none. This is for the about. The same applies for the service. Remember, I have the class of services, and then I'm going to give it a display also of none. Display of none. And then I have the profile music. Class of profile hyphen music. And then I want to display it also none. Display this onto none. So currently there's nothing also on our page because we displayed everything, we hide everything, but we want our home page, our home only to be the one showing. So to do that, we are going to remove, in our home we have this class of hide home. So let me come in our home. It is here. As you see, we have the class of hide home, so let's remove this class out. If I remove this one, then we can see here in our page, our home will be the one showing. So this is our home. Yeah, this is what we want. So we want on all those buttons, we want to give them a classes so that when we click them, then it will be functional. So let's come here and then create a file called dashboard. I'm gonna say dash.js just like that, a short form just. So in my dashboard.js, I want to target some of the files I've given there, whatever. So I have already the JavaScript code of it. So let me just come to my dashboard here, and then I'll just copy everything, then paste it there for you. Then you can just copy it from there. The video have taken long, so I decided to end the video short. Oops. I'm going to copy everything from here, and then let me just come here and then come to this, then paste everything here. So I'm gonna save this. So we want the class of show music, and then show about, and then show services. In our CSS, so in order for us to display all those ones, we have to give them a display of block also. I'm going to come down here and then paste this one here. So this one is going to be about show, class of show about. I'm just going to make it like this, show about, and then here I'm going to say class of show hyphen service, and then class of show hyphen this one. So I'm going to save this file and then come back to our browser. So we want to link our JavaScript from our dashboard here so that it will take all the effects. I'm going to say script, then src. It is going to take our dash. So save the files once again and then wait for it to refresh. So when I click on this, so when I click on this one, it will bring me back to so let me come back to my JavaScript here. have to come to our CSS because I'm seeing like it is not showing, because here we added it but we did not display it, so we have to display this one to be block. The same applies to the rest, and then here also. So this one has to be blocked. So when we save the file and then we'll run back again to our browser, and then let me hit this one. When I click on this one, as you can see, it brings for us this one and our profile, then our music. So everything is working as expected, and this is what we have been building since from the beginning. And I wish you I really appreciate you for watching the video up to this time, up to the end of this tutorial. So I'm so glad and happy to make such kind of content, and please make sure to help me grow up my YouTube channel by liking my videos, subscribing to my channel. That one really helps a lot. So I'm so glad to make the video, and I'm going to leave the code for this project actually in the comment section, the GitHub code for it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now. Have a good day, guys.